The military's best boxers battle it out in the ring. 10 weight classes, 4 services, non-stop action. Who will take home the gold? Will it be the Army, Air Force, Navy, or Marines? Hello again, everyone, and welcome to TPC Sports coverage of the 2012 Armed Forces Boxing Championships. And a special welcome to those that are watching on the Armed Forces Network. I'm Van Stokes, along with a man that has covered boxing around the world, Castle Chalice. Castle, it's great to have you with us.
Yeah, it really is. It's a pleasure to be back here with you, Van. I mean, we're seeing some great boxing here. There's a lot of spirited competition, and these guys really got their hands full, for sure.
Great competition, spirited, a lot on the line as well.
Yeah, the 2012 Armed Forces Boxing Championships right here in Camp Pendleton, sunny Southern California. I couldn't think of a place I'd rather be right now.
We are at Page Fieldhouse here at Camp Pendleton, California, getting ready for our first bout in the 165-pound weight class. In this bout, Lance Corporal Felix Magallanes of the United States Marine Corps faces off against Senior Airman Daniel Logan of the United States Air Force in this preliminary bout in the 165-pound weight class. Magallanes hails from Huntsville, Texas. He's been boxing for 8 years. His opponent, Daniel Logan of the United States Air Force, stationed at Tinker Air Force Base in Oklahoma, a younger boxer with 2 years of experience. Magallanes and Logan, what do you think about this competition? 165 pounds, Castle.
Well, you know what's great about this weight class at 65? They move like welterweights, but they punch like heavyweights. And, you know, Magallanes had said that he knows his opponent's getting beat because he doesn't look too happy after getting some of those punches landed. And we will see how Logan looks after he feels the power of Magallanes.
This one's ready to get underway. Let's go to action.
From Huntsville, Texas, he's a welder stationed at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Weighing in at 165 pounds, let's hear it for Felix Sanchez Magallanes Jr. And making his way to the blue corner, representing the United States Air Force, from Danville, Virginia, this cyber transport technician is stationed at Tinker Air Force Base, Oklahoma, weighing in at 165 pounds. Let's give it up for Senior Airman Daniel Logan.
There you get a good look at Daniel Logan of the Air Force as he has his headgear fitted and adjusted to his head. Let's get to the action, but first a quick look at the rules in amateur boxing. The bouts are 3-minute rounds with a 1-minute rest period in between. Judges will be using a computerized scoring system. Blows are scored when the white part of the glove strikes the head or the body, the front part of the torso of the boxer between the head and the waistline. Now, 3 out of 5 judges must register a scoring blow within a 1-second window in order for it to count. Fouls may result in cautions, warnings, or even disqualifications, and a referee can stop a bout for injury, a dominant lead, or whenever the referee thinks that safety might be a factor. Scoring has changed a little bit this year. We'll no longer be able to see the running score. The boxer scores will only be shared with the coaches at the end of the first 2 rounds. Now, the final score will be revealed at the end of the bout.
You know what's interesting about this, Van? Magallanes actually came to camp training to box at 178 pounds. It was only when he got to camp that he realized he was going to box at 65, so he's bringing a lot more power to this weight class.
Magallanes coming out of the red corner. You saw him He's had the final adjustments to his headgear, his mouthpiece, and his protective groin device. All three safety features that you see in Olympic-style boxing. Called to the center of the ring by Don Rivera, our third man in the ring. Tap the gloves, back to the corners. Stand by. And here we go. Round number one, 165 pounds. The middleweight.
Magallanes fancies himself a body puncher, Van, but he's got a shorter man in there, a more aggressive man perhaps. Let's see if he's going to be able to do the work to the body that he said he would like to do.
Daniel Logan was actually in this competition last year, but he did not have an opponent. He's got it off the left there, did Logan. It appeared to be a scoring blow. Whether 3 out of the 5 judges ringside saw it or not, that remains to be determined. But last year, Daniel Logan fought a civilian in this competition in an exhibition bout. This year, he's hoping to get a title out of this.
Yeah, this is no exhibition. Felix Magallanes, he's also been to the dance before. He's a speedy fighter. He's got long range. He's a tough kid. He molds himself after some of the great Mexican boxers like Oscar de la Hoya and Julio Cesar Chavez, all great body punchers.
Magallanes with 8 years of experience compared to only 2 years for Logan, but experience doesn't matter now because Logan is taking it to Magallanes.
Well, this is exactly what we expected. You see the speed, you see the power, and it's really starting to get loud in here in the Page Fieldhouse.
Logan got turned on to the sport by Ronald Sims, former Olympian for the Air Force. His favorite boxer, as is so many of the other boxers here, Floyd Mayweather. I think they just want to pack that pound for pound dynamite like Mayweather demonstrates so skillfully.
I think Mayweather's going to need to stay a little busier in the pro ranks if he wants to hold on to that slot. Just the same, it's good for these kids to have role models.
And Logan goes down low. He did not get spoken to by the referee. You got to stand up and present yourself, but Logan gets off a shot. Nice counter that time by Magallanes.
Yeah, Magallanes doing a great job counterpunching. He's really waiting for his opportunities. He's not wasting punches. And Logan is going to have to really stay busy and be a little smarter in there. He's going to have to pick his shots and use his feet more to get inside the Ranger Felix Magallanes. Some good body punching right there. You see it. Magallanes letting his hands go, and a nice overhand right by Logan.
You got Magallanes countering a little bit. Logan on the aggressiveness, trying to take it to Magallanes. Daniel Logan in the blue jersey, blue gloves. Magallanes in the red. United States Marine Corps written across his back. The globe, the anchor.
There's a real pleasant ebb and flow to this contest so far here in round one. The boxers give a little, they take a little, and it's pretty close, I would say, here through the first.
This is close, Castle. This is close. And there's the bell to end round number one. I say close. Judges tally 2-1 in favor of Daniel Logan at the end of the first round.
We were sparring.
Meanwhile,
okay? You're going back to the
Jesse
old days
Ravella,
again.
the head coach of the Marine Corps, talks to Felix Magallanes.
When you're throwing that jab, you're moving back too fast. Okay, that kid is backing up at the same time you're jabbing. Okay, I need for you to put the punches together. Give me the more jab, 1, 2 jabs. You know what I'm saying? Work up your jab. Okay, move to the side. Don't back up. He's dropping his head. Okay, when you're throwing that jab, he's dropping his head. Give me that 4. But the problem is you're backing up so fast, you're not seeing these things. Okay, don't go back to your old ways. I want body shots and head shots. Okay, come on, man. Come on.
Sound advice by Ravello, as always. He's basically asking for his man to stay busier.
All right, give me different angles. All right, come on, baby, we can do this. This is your year. Your year. All right, it starts today. All right, baby. Come on. One more time, stand up like a champ.
Franco asking for more angles from his man. Ravello asking for some more consistency in his combinations by Magallanes to not step back. It's really good advice. He's actually pinpointed what's kept Magallanes from pulling further ahead in the score. If Magallanes could stay on his man, I think he could really start to pull away here.
Round number 2. Felix Magallanes in the red and Daniel Logan in the blue, taking the fight right now to Magallanes. A quick body exchange and both boxers step back.
Nice lead right hand. Not a punch you often see landed with success, but there you see it by Magallanes. However, he's not listening to his corner's advice from the first round, and he's starting to step back, and now he's laying in there, and this fight is really starting to take off.
The tempo picking up just a little bit, but I like Daniel Logan's ability to take the fight right now to Felix Magallanes. He goes to the body. You go to the body, the hands will drop. The hands drop, you go to the head.
There's those body shots and the uppercut that Ravello asked for.
But those body shots may not be counting thanks to the cover and the defense of Daniel Logan.
It's a good point, Van, a very good point. Logan doing a good job of keeping his elbows in tight and blocking many of those body shots by Magallanes. Magallanes would be well served at this point to work, as his corner has asked, off that jab and put better combinations together.
You saw Logan a little bit overextended. And right now, Felix Magallanes trying to focus in on Daniel Logan. Nice right hand by Logan to the head of Magallanes. And both boxers exchange blows out in the center of the ring.
Logan really staying on Magallanes like a wet blanket. I mean, he's continuing to apply the pressure. Magallanes doing a good job of warding him off. Another tough round to score, though, Van. Second round.
It is a tough round to score because you don't know how many of those blows are actually hitting the front part of the body. That's from the top of the head and the front part of the torso down to the waist. We come down towards the end of the second round.
Like to see some more body movement by Magallanes also. He's making himself a fairly easy target for Logan to hit because he's standing right there in front of him. More lateral movement like Ravello asked for in between rounds. Side to side, move your head, and don't pull out after you land that jab.
Back at it in the center of the ring. This one is closer than maybe some of the other ones that we're liable to see, and there's the bell to end round number 2. Our coverage of the Armed Forces Boxing Championships will continue in just a moment. Welcome back to the third round of this 165-pound bout.
Go to work.
Straight shots turn, straight shots turn.
Go to work. Whack, go to work. Go to work.
So you've got the straight shot and turn advice from the corner of Ravello, and you've got the uppercut and hook advice by Steve Franco. I think it's going to be very interesting here. The score 8-6 after round 2 in favor of the Air Force's Daniel Logan.
So we head into round 3. Magallanes has his work cut out for him. And Logan proven to be the tough customer against Felix Magallanes.
Yeah, you know, Magallanes seems like the more sound boxer technique-wise, but Logan is just a workhorse in there, and his work effort has only progressed through the rounds, and now he finds himself up by 2 going into the third, and his corner asks for 3 more minutes, just like the last. Let's see if he can do it. I mean, boy, this is really one of the more exciting bouts we've seen so far here this evening.
Daniel Logan calls home Danville, Virginia. He's a cyber transport technician, 21 years of age. But all of that right now, well, that's not as important to Daniel Logan as it is to get a stronghold on this round number 3. And it looks pretty balanced right now. Castle, in fact, Magallanes is coming to find a home right now on the head of Daniel Logan.
Yeah, and the crowd here is really starting to get into this. Both boxers have the full weight of support of their branch behind them. Magallanes, very focused. Logan, very tough.
You saw Logan just now do the windmill, and he had a left hand that missed over the head of Felix Magallanes. So Magallanes boxing under a little more control right now, perhaps. But here comes Logan.
And you know
he's going to turn the tide back.
You're right, Van. This is exactly where Logan wants to be. Keep his head on the chest of his opponent, just like his corner asked for, and throw punches. The 3 and the 6, the hook and the uppercut. Stay on his man. Magallanes not doing what his corner asked, which is to use that jab and stay on the outside, take advantage of his reach. He's not doing it.
This one deep into round number 3, and the tide could go either way on this particular 165-pound preliminary bout. Into the inside goes Daniel Logan.
Magallanes wants to get away from that top right. He wants to step back and use that jab and score points from the outside. Logan effectuating his game plan wonderfully, but he may be down on some points here as Magallanes boxing a smart third round. It seems somehow he's staying aggressive.
This round is close to being over. This bout is close to being over. Flailing a little bit right now is Daniel Logan. Taking advantage of it is Felix Magallanes. Told to keep his gloves up. And there's the bell to end round number 3 and to end this 165-pound preliminary bout. It was a close one. And according to our card, Felix Magallanes turned the tide in round number 3 to best his opponent from the Air Force, Daniel Logan, by the score of 14-10. You get a good look at the cover that time of Magallanes. You see Logan trying to get off real quick. Some of those scored and some of them didn't. Let's go to the ring for our official announcement.
Fighting for the United States Marine Corps, Lance Corporal Felix Magallanes, Jr.
Felix, that was some performance. Down by 2 going into that third round. What did your corner tell you, and what were you thinking going in there?
I knew it was going to be close. My coaches told me I was down. I need to let it hang. So that's what I try to do, let it hang.
You know, you came into this camp training for the 178-pound slot. You're boxing here at 65. How did that feel?
It felt good. Hard work.
All right, well, your hard work we know pays off in the gym. It showed here tonight. Congratulations, champ.
Thank you.
Everyone, let's hear it for Lance Corporal Felix Magallanes of the Marines.
So Felix Magallanes, the winner of this 165-pound preliminary bout, will move on to the championship bout in the 165-pound middleweight class. When we come back, we'll have more boxing from Page Fieldhouse here in Camp Pendleton, California, and the Armed Forces Boxing Championships. We're back at Page Fieldhouse here at Camp Pendleton, California. Our coverage continues with the 165-pound weight class. In this bout, Airman Daniel Silva faces off against Private Marquis Moore in this 165-pound preliminary bout. It's the Air Force versus the Army. Daniel Silva works on the USS Theodore Roosevelt out of Newport News, Virginia. He's been boxing for only a year. He comes up against a more experienced boxer in Marquis Moore of the United States Army. He's been boxing for 10 years and was the 2007 Junior Olympic champion. So a big difference in the experience between these two boxers. How do you see this bout shaping up, Castle?
Well, experience is the key. Silva with 1 year and Moore, well, with a lot more, 10 years of experience. We'll see how it pans out. Stay tuned.
Well, let's go ringside and get this one underway.
Newport News, Virginia. Weighing in at 165 pounds, he is the 2011 Virginia and North Carolina Golden Glove Gloves champion. Let's hear it for Airman Daniel Silva. And making his way to the blue corner from Marlow Heights, Maryland. He's a supply specialist assigned to the 978th Quartermaster Reserve Company in Annapolis, Maryland. Weighing in at 165 pounds, he is the 2007 Junior Olympic champion, the 2007 USA team member, and the 2007 Silver Gloves champion. Let's hear it for Private Marquis Moore.
As they come into the ring, trailed by their teammates. We've said this before. Sometimes it seems like you're alone in the ring, but certainly not the case here at the Armed Forces Championship. You have not only your team behind you, but your entire service.
Yeah, they say in the Army it's an army of one, but that's clearly not the case with this Army team. They come out in full support, and it's really a beautiful thing to see.
Well, this is the Army versus the Navy. Daniel Silva in the red. He's got the red trunks, red jersey on, and of course the red gloves. His opponent, Marquis Moore of the United States Army, hails from Marlow Heights, Maryland, stationed in Annapolis, Maryland with his Army Reserve unit. He's a supply specialist. His experience, 10 years, Castle, compared to 1 year, 10 bouts or less for Daniel Silva. But as you heard, it doesn't make that much of a difference to Silva. He's ready to get it on.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a tough challenge to go in there with someone with such experience. You got to give the guy credit. Daniel Silva, what do you say, 6 bouts or so on his boxing passport. So he's going to really be in for it. And yet, I couldn't be more excited at this challenge.
Our third man in the ring is Ricky Webb as round number 1 gets underway in this 165-pound preliminary bout. The winner will advance to the championship against Felix Magallanes. Both boxers come out just a little bit cautious in this one, Castle. We've seen some so far in this competition come out with flurry and a lot of aggression. There you start to see a little bit out of Marquis Moore.
Yeah, well, you know, Moore said he models himself after the marvelous one, Marvin Hagler out of Brockton, Mass. And, you know, that's quite a role model to have. And he sure looks like he could perhaps fill his shoes. So far, you see the build on him, and he talks about the willpower. And, you know, he's coming out there swinging. Now he's looking to...
Well, he seems to think that speed and power might be his biggest assets. You saw a little bit of the quickness out of him just a second ago. But early on, no real damage and no real scoring blows, I would say, in the first part of the first round here.
And I tell you, for the lack of experience, as I say, lack of experience, Silva eats a big left hand, snaps his head back. I was just about to say he seems pretty composed in there with a good defensive style, but he's going to learn really quickly. You've got to keep those hands up at all times.
Well, that you do. You can see the head snap back. You just watch the head. It will snap back on a blow that lands to the head. You're judging that. You're going to count that as a scoring blow. But it still remains pretty close early on, or midway point through round number 1. Now here comes Marquis Moore.
I tell you what, man, this is the second time in as many minutes as Marquis Moore has landed a big left hook to the head of Daniel Silva. If Silva does not keep that right hand high and keep circling away like he's doing, we could see the first early stoppage of this event.
That might be possible. Here comes Marquis Moore in on the inside, backing Silva into the corner, and Silva trips. No, he doesn't. He's knocked down. He's going to get that count. I thought he was tripped, but that was not the case. He went down as a result of a blow, stumbled quickly, went to the canvas. You get a quick look right there of Moore moving in to the body, to the left, and there's no doubt about that. He tagged him with a left hand. Good call by a ring official.
Yeah, Van, and now you really start to see Moore tasting success as he continues to pepper his man with body shots. It's nice to see those double jabs to the body. Haven't really seen that much, and don't see much jabbing to the body in the amateur ranks, but perhaps he's going to try and get Silva to drop his hands, utilize some of that experience, and then go back upstairs with a big left hook like he dropped his man in the first. This Silva really needs to be careful against this cagey and a wily veteran in the ring, Marquis Moore.
Moore lands to the body. Then he lands a couple of quick shots to the head. Silva backpedaling, pedals out of the corner, thankfully, as the bell sounds to end round number 1. Marquis Moore taking a 12-6 lead over his opponent, Daniel Silva of the Navy.
We got control aggression. Listen, we don't give up a couple.
Okay, you're doing fine. I don't want you to get into a slugging match with this guy, okay? Remember what I told you about those looping punches? Okay, he's catching with the left hook. Don't get caught, okay? Listen, if your punches are straight, you'll be successful, okay? Double jab, right hand, and then pick him up with that uppercut, okay? Uppercut, left hook. You're doing fine, okay? But don't get into a slugging match with this guy. You hear me? Okay? Use that stick.
Now you hear Silva giving the advice, as he has in the corner, not to get into a slugging match with his opponent.
That's sound advice. Let's see what Charles Leverett, the Army coach, has to say. He thinks his man, Marquis Moore, is all right. In fact, you take a look at that scorecard at the end of round number 1. I would have to agree with him. He's out in front with a 2-1 margin. He leads after 1 round, 12-6 on the judges' scorecards. Remember, computerized system in place here. 3 out of the 5 judges must agree within a 1-second window. Press the button on the computer, and the computer will tabulate whether it's a scoring draw or not. Round number 2 underway. Marquis Moore. Bobbing and weaving, ducking. There's Silva trying to land a blow.
Silva taking that sound advice in the corner and using that straight left followed by a straight right, and he seems to keep Moore at bay at the beginning, but I mean, he's going to have to keep that left hand up, going to have to keep that right hand up.
You heard his advice in between the rounds. Do not get yourself in a slugging match. And I like the way right now that Marquis Moore is starting to try to cut the ring off and cut it down against Daniel Silva. I call that ringmanship, Callis.
Yeah, well,
Castle.
I'll tell you what, I mean, Moore is doing a great job. He's showing his experience now, and he is walking his man down. I just think that Silva is going to need to continue working behind the jab. There you see it, doubling it up, tripling it up, and then following up that big right hand. I think he could have success if he does that and keeps his hands up immediately after he throws those punches.
Now, I like the way Daniel Silva is basically moves to the left, moves to the right, tries to land a shot. But that's good defense right now by Marquis Moore of the Army. Here comes Moore, a bit more on the aggression.
Yeah, Moore will be well served again to just continue to keep the pressure. If he keeps the constant pressure on Silva, goes to the body, gets Silva's hands to come down, and comes back upstairs with that big left hook, I don't know that Silva will be able to keep that sort of pressure off of him. He does not want to be in the corner with a guy like Moore pounding away.
Daniel Silva is an aviation boatswain's mate on an aircraft carrier. That is the USS Theodore Roosevelt, so he's used to action on deck. But right now, he's got enough on his mind right here not to think about the USS Theodore Roosevelt.
Well, there's only one thing you can really do, you're thinking in there, and that's about the man in front of you. You can't even take your concentration off that for a moment because it only takes one punch to end this fight early.
Less than 50 seconds remaining this in the second round. And right now, Marquis Moore out in front healthily over Daniel Silva on the judges' scorecard. Silva's grandmother and his mother in the audience tonight.
Silva needs to get off those ropes with a big body puncher like Moore. His fight should take place in the center of the ring behind a long jab. Again, Moore needs to do more by way of pressuring his opponent and staying on the inside, breaking at the waist, lateral movement. And just as his corner asked him not to do, Daniel Silva getting into a slugging match with Marquis Moore, round 2.
Seconds away from the conclusion of round number 2. And there's the bell to end round number 2. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back for round number 3 of this 165-pound bout in just a moment. Welcome back to the third round of this 165-pound bout.
Making this harder than what it is, son. Come on, you don't need no stool, because we don't rest in the, come on. Listen, all I'm asking for you to do is be under control. You're giving up too many of those cheap punches.
You get a look right
it's
now
not gonna work on the next
at
level.
Charles
Your
Leverett
offense is good, but I
talking
need
to
some good
Marquis
defense
Moore.
too. We're giving up too many cheap points. That's what's keeping this guy, making him feel like he got a chance. He don't have a chance. He don't have a chance in hell, you understand? Look at me, all right? But we got to keep our jab, quit head hunting, quit trying to kill him with every shot. Let's beat this kid up, but let's do it under control, son. Listen, more coming on. Come on, you
Leverett
can
trying
repeat
to
it. Tell me why
charge
don't
up
you do it. We done talked about it.
his
We done
young
thought about
boxer,
it. Next time,
Marquis Moore.
execute. You understand? We win in every round. We win every round. Let's go.
He
Come
wants
on,
to
be
get
sharp,
out there
man.
and
Be
take
sharp.
care of business, and not just take care of business, Castle, but to take care of business in a convincing way.
Well, I think it's pretty convincing with a score of 20-9 here going into round 3. He's got twice as many points as his opponent, and he's the busier boxer.
That he is, but I think that Charles Leverett, his coach, the Army coach, who replaced Bashir Abdullah as the leader of the Army squad this year, wants him to get in and do everything he can to put Silva away. In other words, he doesn't want a guy like Silva hanging around. You give a guy like Silva a chance to hang around, you get nothing from him.
That's right, and despite his lack of experience, you have to take your hat off to Daniel Silva because he's staying in there with a guy 10 times as much experience as him. And although he's down on points, he's still quite game, and he's throwing punches. He just needs to throw smart punches and well-placed punches, and he needs to keep moving. Body movement is very important, head movement, against this young Marquis Moore.
It is. And I mentioned his mother and his grandmother are here. They came down from Oxnard, California to watch this bout here at Camp Pendleton. And while they and others, his teammates certainly are cheering him on, he's on the backside right now in this round number 3 against Marquis Moore. Here comes Moore. Covers nicely, ducks out of the way of a flurry by Daniel Silva. And as hardy as Silva might be, you still get the feeling that Moore could land one on him.
Yeah, well, Moore looks like he's trying to end this fight early. He doesn't seem to care about the points. He just cares about finishing this fight early, and you're going to get a caution here by the referee to keep their head up. Big left hands by Moore, just powering through the defense of Daniel Silva. Silva's certainly getting a lesson in boxing here tonight. He's only going to come out more chiseled, more experienced after staying 3 rounds with Marquis Moore.
Oh, and down he goes. But this was a plain and simple trip. He cleans off the knuckle portions, the white tip portions of the glove. And right now it's Marquis Moore who is being told to keep your punches up, not below the waistline. So Marquis Moore in control of this bout to a large degree, takes one quickly by Silva. He's not going anywhere.
No, Van, you are absolutely correct. He's not. He is just staying on him like brown on rice, and Moore is catching him with some big left hands, but here comes Silva just trudging forward and really showing some grit, eating a lot of leather though in the process.
He is. He's going to have to stay out of the corner is Daniel Silva. And, you know, I want to say, Castle, that Daniel Silva is actually gaining experience in growing in this particular bout. I mean, he's a young boxer. Ooh, he takes a shot. 2 shots to the head. Another shot like that, he could get an 8 count.
So there's something about the experience that Silva's getting here. You feel like you're watching him grow years, and right at the bell, if they say saved by the bell, I think that it couldn't have been closer in that one.
Saved by the bell, perhaps, and it was Marquis Moore who outboxed his opponent from the Navy, Daniel Silva, by the judges' score of 31-17. A convincing win for Marquis Moore in this 165-pound preliminary weight class. You take a look at the action right there. There's that left hand that knocked down Daniel Silva. And again, a little bit later, in with the blows. Nice cover by Moore and that was not a knockdown as much as it was a trip and a stumble. Nonetheless, Marquis Moore is the man that controlled that bout. Let's go.
Round of applause for these fighters. Putting on excellent exhibition.
As the crowd gives him a big hand, let's go to the ring for the official announcement.
Your winner, fighting out of the blue corner, Private Marquis Moore, the United States Army.
Marquis Moore is the winner. Let's get a word with Castle Chalice.
Congratulations, Marquis. That was pretty impressive. What was your plan going into this contest?
Like me and my team said, going in behind the jab, work as many combinations as I can. But I still got some more to prove on.
Yeah, you caught him in the first round with a big left hook. Right. Did you think you had an advantage on the inside?
Yeah, that's mainly my style on the inside. I'm a shorter fighter, stronger man, so I tend to stand the inside a lot.
Well, that was pretty impressive. Hopefully we see some more of that in your next contest in the finals. Congratulations again, Marquis Moore.
Thank you.
Marquis Moore, our winner in the 165-pound preliminary bout. He will come out in the championship bout of this weight class against the Marine Felix Magallanes. More from the Armed Forces Boxing Championships from Camp Pendleton, California, coming up right after this timeout. We're back ringside here at Page Fieldhouse at Camp Pendleton, California, with more coverage of the 2012 Armed Forces Boxing Championships. I'm Van Stokes along with Castle Chalice. We're glad you could be with us for a championship bout in the 165-pound weight class. This gold medal bout features Lance Corporal Felix Magallanes of the United States Marine Corps coming out to face Private Marquis Moore representing the United States Army. Now, Magallanes, stationed at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, is no stranger to the ring. He fought here last year. He's going to use his experience to the best of his advantage. Let's see what he had to say prior to coming into the ring.
When I'm in the ring, you see my face. You off in the corner slow. The games and the games that we play.
You have to be dedicated to your craft. And I respect that a lot about this sport. It shows you who you are. The fights, you know, it's not one in the ring, it's one, you know, the work you put into it. It starts a long time before all these flashing lights and bright lights. If you don't work in the gym, you're going to find out in the ring.
Weighing in at 165 pounds, let's hear it for Lance Corporal Felix Sanchez Magallanes Jr.
When I'm in the ring, you see my face. Look at my robe, look at my trunks.
If you're winning a fight, you know you're winning a fight. Feeling of dominance over your opponent. My whole motivation is to win this tournament and dedicate it to my brother and all my brothers and sisters over there. This is for you, brothers. Your sacrifices, they're not in vain.
Private Marquis Moore, representing the United States Army, calls Marlow Heights, Maryland home, not far from Washington, D.C. He learned a lot growing up in that area. He's a talkative young man, and we caught up to him prior to the start of the competition.
I got my game face on, hey, hey. I got my game face on.
Marquis Marvelous Moore.
You gotta really love this sport to do it, because it's a very hard, disciplined sport.
I gotta put it all on the line. My people know I play hard all of the time, man. Game face on, hey, hey.
My thing is now, this year, is to never leave it in the judges' hands. Try to stop my opponent or try to ref stop it.
Stop my forehead of steam.
It's all about showing my team what I could do, because, you know, we have a good team. I don't really think nobody could beat it.
He don't have a chance. He don't have a chance in hell, you understand?
You gon' think back, never seen nobody worse as me.
To be honest, I don't worry about my competition anymore. I feel like I'm the top dog right now at 165.
And we about to bring some trouble to your whole school, your university. You gon' think back, never seen nobody worse as me.
You gotta have your mind focused. You gotta be steadfast on what the goal is, and that's to get the gold.
Magallanes and Moore, 165 pounds, championship bout. What do you see in this bout here, Castle?
Well, you know, Magallanes, he's a durable boxer. He's steady, he's tough, and he styles himself after the great Mexican boxers of our era. So, I mean, he comes with a lot of correctness. Moore, on the other hand, got a lot of speed, a lot of power. He models himself after the great, marvelous Marvin Hagler, who we just lost the great trainer of Marvin's, Goody Petronelli. So if Moore needs something to fight for, he'll be fighting for the legacy of his favorite boxer's trainer, marvelous Marvin Hagler. This is going to be a barn burner.
We should be able to look forward to some good action. Gold medal on the line. Let's get to the action.
Making his way to the red corner, representing the United States Marine Corps. From Huntsville, Texas, he's a welder stationed at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. Weighing in at 165 pounds, let's hear it for Lance Corporal Felix Sanchez Magallanes Jr.
You know, Van Magallanes told me, unlike football or basketball, what he loves most about the dedication to this craft, this sport, that it shows you who you are as a man.
Specialist to the 970th Quartermaster Reserve Company in Annapolis, Maryland. Weighing in at 165 pounds, he's the 2007 Junior Olympic champion, the 2007 USA team member, and the 2007 Silver Gloves champion. Let's hear it for Promise Marquis Marvelous Moore.
Marquis Moore, the United States Army, has entered the ring to face his combatant, his opponent, Felix Magallanes of the Marine Corps. This is 165 pounds. It's for the Armed Forces Gold. Magallanes, stationed at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, will have this partisan Marine crowd behind him here in the Page Fieldhouse at Camp Pendleton, California. Angel Villarreal, our third man in the ring. There's the bell, round number one. This gold medal match is underway. Magallanes out in the red trunks, red jersey, red headgear that says Marines across the forehead. And Marquis Moore comes out on the attack. Gold trunks, gold jersey, Army black and gold, blue gloves.
You see right there, Magallanes already looking to the corner, heeding the words of wisdom of Jesse Ravello early on in round number one.
Nice left hand that time by Marquis Moore. Ten years of boxing to his credit, 2007 Silver Gloves champion, as well as the Junior Olympic champion in that year.
Notice that side-to-side movement of Marquis Moore. He wants to make himself a difficult target. What's most interesting about Magallanes right now, Van, as we have said, he actually normally boxes at 178, came into this camp to box at that weight class, but is now down at 65 here, so that gives him a decisive strength advantage over most of his opponents in this weight class.
Peppering punches right now by Marquis Moore as he is taking a 4-0 lead as we near the midpoint of round number one.
Nice body shot by Moore to score one here.
Moore will go to the body, but he will also come up to the head. Covers nicely. Magallanes not being able to get off anything of a scoring nature. And that time he does.
Yeah, that was also a nice left hook to the body by Magallanes. He says he credits guys like De La Hoya and Chavez, two great body punches in their own right, and clearly favoring the body shots, Felix Magallanes.
We saw a good left hook, another left by Marquis Moore. He follows it with the right and goes up 9-3. 50 seconds remaining. Head juts back of Marquis Moore. Magallanes lands a scoring blow, 9-4. Here comes Marquis Moore, trying to step up the attack. Gets a nice body shot.
Nice left hand off the break, right, man? I mean, literally waited, and as soon as the ref broke him, caught him with a left.
Well done, textbook style. Well schooled, we might add, is Felix Magallanes.
So it looks like some of those body shots by Magallanes may have actually slowed down the great movement, the upper body movement of Marquis Moore, which we saw at the beginning of the round.
And there's the bell to end round number 1, as Marquis Moore takes a 10-5 lead right now after 1 round over Felix Magallanes. Jesse Ravella is talking to Magallanes in the red corner.
Don't look for the angle. Let it go automatically, man. This guy is done. He's yours in the second round if you want it, okay? Go turn that uppercut in there. Don't lean on him. Turn the uppercut. He's resting in between
Ravello
punches.
telling his charge
Okay?
not to think so much in there and to just let his hands go. Interesting, he wants his boxer to just box more off of instinct and not lose too much time thinking about what he wants to do.
And basically he's saying he's yours if you want
The
him.
more you make him work, the better.
And that's tough when you realize that you're on the backside of a 10-5 scorecard.
That's right, and that's exactly where Ravello's motivation comes from, saying, just let your hands go. He's going to need to let him go to catch up. Little hesitant in there, Magallanes. Perhaps the speed in which Marquis Moore came out, bobbing and weaving, may have stunned him a little bit, but again, I think commitment to the body is a good path for Felix Magallanes.
Round number 2, 10-5. Marquis Moore over Magallanes as we start this second stanza.
You know, there's also a decisive hand speed advantage in favor of Marquis Moore. It seems like he's able to get his shots off a lot quicker than Magallanes.
I agree. He considers his greatest strengths to be speed and power, and we saw some of that in the first round.
And this is not where Moore wants to be. He doesn't want to get into a wrestling match with the bigger, stronger Magallanes. I think he wants to continue to use good body movement and hand speed to pepper his opponent with points.
There they stand in the middle, slugfest now. Magallanes doing his best to try to get scoring points. There's a left, there's a right by Moore, another left by Moore. He follows it up with a combination. 15-6 is the score, 16-6 is the score. Marquis Moore out in front of Magallanes.
You know, Marquis Moore looks like a lumberjack in there trying to chop down a big redwood tree in the Felix Magallanes. He's just swinging away at the head and body and doing a great job ranking up points in the process.
Watch Moore go to the body. There he goes to the body, right there. Boom, another body again, another shot. Then he comes back to the head. 2 shots to the head, 3 shots, 4 shots, 5. We got an 8 count.
You know what, Van? If we don't, if Magallanes is not careful, they could stop this if he keeps taking those headshots.
Well, he's got an 8 count to recover right now, as there's a 21-6 advantage in favor of Marquis Moore on the scorecard. We're approaching the halfway mark here in round number 2. As Marquis Moore continues to try to pour it on. But I think that Magallanes has recovered nicely following that 8 count.
You know, also looking at the bigger picture of this tournament, you know, with the Marines having won 3 of the last 4 in the earlier part of this championship round, it's very important that the Army not lose too much, and this would be an incredible win if Marquis Moore could pull this out over Magallanes. Really silence the Marine crowd that's been here for the most part here in Camp Pendleton.
Angel Villarreal ready to administer another 8 count. He is right there. He wants to step in on this action if he's got to. Another blow to the head, and he will be right in there.
You know, Magallanes not doing much by way of defense here. His hands are sort of low. He's flat on his feet. He's not circling. There's no lateral movement. And more importantly, he's not using that jab, the decisive reach advantage, to keep the hard-charging Marquis Moore off of him. And this is exactly what Coach Ravello was saying in the corner. Start throwing more punches and stop thinking so much.
Less than 30 seconds remaining.
Looks like Coach Ravello may be ready to throw in the towel. He's already up on the apron. Could it be?
You don't have nothing on your punches no more.
I think they've stopped it, and they have.
They have stopped this bout. They have stopped this bout. You had head coach Jesse Ravello come up on the apron. He thought his boxer was taking it just a little bit too much. And in fact, the score was 27-6 when head coach Jesse Ravello decided to step up. That's what you call a dominating performance, if you will, by Marquis Moore over Felix Magallanes. Jesse Ravello, the head coach of the United States Marine Corps, knew just that. So he came up on the apron and said, I'm going to retire my boxer. He doesn't need to be in there right now. It would be to his disadvantage. We look back on this bout and we see the quick, peppery speed to the body punches and then up to the head of Marquis Moore, into the body and into the head. That's his style. Magallanes, as you can see, tries to do his best to land blows to the head, but Marquis Moore just keeps coming at it and coming at it. Left, right, good combination, and Marquis Moore was relentless on the head of Felix Magallanes as he earns the victory as a result of a retirement from the corner of head coach Jesse Ravello of the Marine Corps. Well, let's go to the ring for our official announcement.
And your winner, with the referee stopping the contest at 2 minutes, 37 seconds of the second round, fighting out of the blue corner, representing the United States Army, Private Marquis Marvelous Moore.
Marquis Moore gets the gold medal draped around his neck.
And your silver medalist, representing the United States Marine Corps, give it up for Lance Corporal Felix Sanchez Magallanes Jr.
And Magallanes gets the silver medal. Let's see what Castle Chalice can get out of this young man.
You know that Magallanes was training to come in 78, and he comes down to 65 here. He had the reach advantage, and I guess he thought he may have had the strength advantage, but it looked like you were outboxing him and outpunching him tonight. What do you attribute that to?
First of all, like I said, I want to thank God for everything, for training hard. For my team, I got a great team. I mean, I feel if you got the top coaches, you can't lose.
You have anything to say to your fellow troops over downrange at this point?
Keep your head up, keep your face strong, and love your family, love everybody.
Everyone, your winner from the Army, Private Marquis Marvelous Moore.
Marquis Moore, our middleweight champion from the Army, 165-pound gold medal winner. He does so. Referee stopped the contest over his opponent, over Felix Magallanes. Well, it's been another great day of Armed Forces boxing from here in Camp Pendleton, California. We want to say thanks once again to all of you who have been watching on the Pentagon Channel. This has been a production of TPC Sports, serving those who serve. For more information, log on to pentagonchannel.mil. For Castle Chalice and our entire TPC Sports crew, I'm Van Stokes saying so long from Camp Pendleton.